Quiet. No music right now. It's so sad. Pretty sure there's music throughout the game. Will it? Pretty sure. I think there's music throughout the. Oh, it's a camera, hello camera. Okay, here we go. Camera do its thing. Mm, I'm now live. Yes. Ugh, pain in the butt to get this working. Not that. I mean, not that painful. Just annoying, really. Oops. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. God, it's so weird just to hear nothingness. We'll hear something this soon. There we go. There's some sounds now. It's not. Turn it up a teeny bit. Yeah. Alright, that's good. There we go. Sorcery Part 1. Alright, so let's see here. Let me just move my mic not directly on my face. Very, very nice. Yes. You have walked the wilds of Kakavad through Kare and the spiteful backlands all the way into Mampang. You have survived traps, thieves, serpents, and vengeful gods. And now it is here. The crown of kings. Gasp. It is said the crown was never forged, only found by Shalana the Reformer. Shalana the Reformer. A lowly foot soldier who became emperor of the Eastern world. Such is the power of the crown. The air around it crackles with influence. Take it or wait. Wait. What is this? The crown sits unguarded on a pedestal of light. But there's so many hardships. Can it really be so simple? Or is this yet another deception? Sure enough, as soon as you think it, the image of the crown begins to flicker. You turn about to see something approaching. It's a trap. Oh, fuck. And startle yourself awake. You are alone, exhausted, in the little hut in the little hut in the outpost settlement. Your unimaginable journey is not even a single step begun. It was all a dream. Steve Jackson's Sorcery Part 1/2 because Part 1 and 2 are released as one game on Steam for some reason. I don't know why. I guess Part 1 is kind of short, but is there really no sounds? No, like, music to this? I thought there was music. Oh, that's. Hmm. I'm not sure if I can find some. Let me see. DMCA. DMCA free fantasy music. Hmm. Nightingale Lo-Fi? What's this? What is this? Is this some good? Hold on. Let's see. Is there really any music? I thought there was music for some reason. I don't know why. Um. hmm. All right. Let me see. Oh, this is some good. All right, we got some good music. I just gotta lower it. I don't know what it is on Streamlabs. How is it on Streamlabs? Is it loud? Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's good. Hopefully, this music all fits with the the setting, but we'll see. It is sunrise. You dress breakfast on bread and goat's milk. And collect the pack and sword from inside. It's got louder. It's got louder. It got louder. All right, it got louder. I didn't think it would get this loud. Okay, it got louder. Hold on. Where's there's a good point. I think. Okay. You dress breakfast on bread and goat's milk, and collect the pack and sword from beside your bed. Let us pray for luck. Before you leave, you close your eyes and raise a prayer to your spirit guide. This morning it has the form of a panther, but what will become once your journey truly begins? A great calm descends on you. Outside the hut, you hear the outpost settlements stirring into life. Now let's test our blade. You pause to test the blade of the sword against your thumb. The blacksmith has done well. The edge is keen and draws a narrow line of blood. Time to go, I think. Time then to depart. You lift back the flap of the hut and step into the early morning sunshine. Draw a path. As we set on our journey, the music gets epicer. Oh god. So I think we'll just, just in case the music does show up on here, we'll turn this off because I like this better. This is good music, whatever I chose. Who's this? Let's credit this person. Oh, that's actually their name, Nightingale Lo-Fi on SoundCloud. That's who's this. Okay, cool. Original soundtrack for sleep study, streaming, and video content. All right, this is pretty good. Um. Oh, but I don't trust them because their name is Celeste. Celeste. That's what they say their name is. Solas. Solus? Solas? That's the name of that character, right? The bad one. Bad one from the Dragon Age. Oh god, my head twisted. I die. uh, wait, can I actually just hold on? Does that fuck it up? It doesn't fuck it up. Okay, perfect. All right, good. The screen was a little off for me on my end here. It does look a little. Can I just like fit the screen or stretch it or something? Let's see. Stretch the screen? No. It is slightly above. Whatever. It's fine. It should work out. It should be fine. It should work out. To lower the music in my ear. My ear it got loud for me. It should be okay. Yeah, it looks still okay with that. Our eyes. Oh, hold on. What? Excuse me. Hold on. I need to. Sorry, I have to go back to read that. Yeah, let me just rewind 1 second. Okay. Eyes follow you as you leave the hut and walk towards the great Shumutsani Wall. The frontiers people of this tiny settlement are well aware of your mission. Well, let's greet them. Say hello. Hello, people. Hello. That's my guy's voice. That's what her voice sounds like. Hello. Oh my goodness. Hello. You turn to them and bow. Some smile in reply, but are too afraid to approach. Others make gestures of protection. You are going beyond the wall, so they believe you to be cursed. A man is waiting on the path to the Cantopani Gate, the final door between Analand and the wilds of Kakabad. You recognize the sergeant of the Sightmaster Warriors. He holds out his hand. This dude with the fancy getup. Greetings, Sergeant. He touches his forehead with 2 fingers. You're almost ready, my lady, he says. I have for you a gift from the king. 24 gold pieces. It is all we can spare this time. He holds out a pouch. I shall take it. That's a good amount of gold. You accept the gift graciously. Thank you. You should buy some supplies before you pass the wall, the sergeant says. Then you must collect your spell book if you wish magic to aid you. Finally, should you wish to practice your swordplay, I will go one last round with you. And he points with the staff towards the training ground. Alright, let me get my spell book. One of the huts sets slightly back from the others, decorated with glyphs and strange symbols. So you didn't hear the whistling. There was no whistling. You didn't hear that when I did that. That's okay. You didn't hear that. A terrible smell emanates from its doorway. This is the hut of the chief mage. He's been preparing your spellbook for days, reading star charts to work out which spells will be available to you in the different locations in the hills and beyond. Do without the book. Why would I do without the book? That's insane. That's absolutely insane in this game. So I played parts 1 and 2 before, so I know about this game. I know some of the choices. I've seen parts 3 and 4, but played to completion, so I do know about this game and everything that lies within. I just don't know like some of the choices, where they lead and what they, the outcomes, and obviously they can change based on how you do. Yeah. So I know some. I know some. You let the flapping go inside. The mage looks up at you with haggard, sleepless eyes and presses the book into your hands. Do you understand how to use this? He asks. Yeah. The mage nods. Good. He scratches absently at his ear. Remember, some spells will cost you effort to use, but the ones that don't will not work without a focus. An item of some kind. You will need to read the book to know what. You're just measuring the spellbook button on the map. Alright, let's look for some rations. Small traders in the settlement supply the Sightmaster warriors with weapons, armor, food, and clothing. You go over with the sergeant to a stall selling flatbreads and cheese. 2 gold pieces per. They all have the same voice. They all have the same weird voice. 2 gold pieces per ration, the owner says. Can I haggle with him? Hey, do you know who I am? I'm Annalyn's Great New Hope. You tell him. The man looks uncomfortable. I know that, but I have to feed my family today, whatever happens to the crown. All right, fine. Oh, was it 2 gold pieces? Pieces? Buy more. Let me see. You check your pack. There's room for plenty inside. I'll take 4. I'll take 4. 4 rations is 8 gold pieces, the man says, holding out a hand. Buy them. You hand over your coins, and the man places 4 rations carefully into your pack. You must be sure to eat every day, or you will suffer. Oh, that's a different person. You must be sure to eat every day, or you will suffer, the sergeant tells you, standing at your side. Eating more will give you extra strength, but is not necessary. Check the contents. Check the contents. Training ground. Should we train? Let's do a little training. You walk with the sergeant to the training ground, and he wraps the base of his staff in leather. Ready, my sword. To begin, the sergeant says, we will practice the stances. First, defend yourself against me. Defend. Boom. The Sightmaster is a powerful enemy. By defending, you will receive the minimum damage from any attack he makes. The Sightmaster Sergeant defends himself as well. The round is a stalemate. My next... They're not... I can't make them all sound like that. He's just my regular voice. My next attack will be weak, he declares. You will be able to overpower me by playing a stronger attack. But be sure your attack is stronger. Okay, drag like this. Like, let's do 5. Yeah, get fricked. You make a medium attack, overpowering the Sightmaster Sergeant. Alright, he tries a low, careful attack. Overpowering a weak attack is easy, so you did well to win without using too much power. My next attack will be one of my strongest, he declares. If you can perform a full attack, you may overpower me, but otherwise, you had best defend yourself. For a strong attack, pull your character to the right. To defend, pull your character to the left. So let's try defend, yeah. Good choice there. You defend yourself. The Sightmaster Sergeant attempts a strong attack, but you only receive a small amount of damage. He'll be weaker now, so his next attack will be lower. My next attack will be low, says the Sergeant. You can overpower him by dragging your character to the right until you think you have the stronger attack. I mean, this should be fine. Yeah, more than enough. Oops. You play a strong attack, beating the Sightmaster Sergeant. He bows. You have finished me. Excellent. One stamina loss. Skilled swordplay. You seem to remember the basics, the sergeant says breathlessly. Good. Another round? Enough training. You shake your head. Very good. The sergeant agrees. But if you wish to boust in earnest, then I warn you, I will not go easy on you. Indicates the water yard where there's space for a true match. So let's do a true match against him. You head over to the yard to practice a bout of real fighting. Sergeant removes the cloth padding from the base of his staff. Unsheath my sword. This time I will not tell you my intentions, he says. You will have to read them for yourself. Be ready. Alright, let's see. Should we start out with full right away? Let's go full attack right away. Charge! Oh wow, perfect. The Sightmaster smiles at you, raises his staff in salute, and takes his position. You feel the weight of your sword and bring it up and deliver a mighty stroke, like a bell ringer sounding a gong. The Sightmaster Sergeant comes in with the strongest, most forceful attack. You smile as your own blow triumphs and sinks deep. The Sightmaster shakes his head. Not bad. He grunts, clearly weakening. Alright, let's try another big one. Yeah, there we go. Boom. He's dead already. We're already dead. Relentlessly, you cut and thrust, keeping him pinned. You swing your sword fast in towards his chest. It is enough to finish him. The Sightmaster throws down his staff. You have, he declares with a grin. No stamina lost. Flawless fighting. The sergeant is gasping for breath. He bows to you once more. Excellent, he declares. Few women ever bested me. Few men either. You truly are Analand's best hope. As he talks, a nearby healer hurries over with the salve, and your health and sergeant is quickly restored. What does it matter since I lost no stamina whatsoever? Because I'm too fucking powerful. You reach the foot of the mighty gate. It is sealed. The sergeant places one hand on the wood. The gate has been locked for some time to deter raiders, he tells you. But you will have no difficulty. The stars in this place allow the Dob spell to be crafted. And then he stands back. Cast a spell. It's quite a neat way to cast spells. You can just like search for the letters and be like, oh, does this match what you can do and stuff? And yeah. Dob opens locks and doors. You weave the spell. One by one, the great tumblers of the door begin to creak and groan. Then the hinges turn with a noise like hail on a canvas roof. These gates have not opened since our last champion was lost, the sergeant says. I wish you more luck than he. Perhaps you will even meet him on your travels. If I overtake him, then he is too slow. The Sightmaster nods, peering at something on the horizon. I believe he's returning, but transformed, so I hope you do not meet the same fate. He claps you on the shoulder. Together you step into the shadow of the wall. One last word. When you have the crown, find the highest point you can find. We will be watching. Watching from where? From here. The Sightmaster warriors are selected from birth for their incredible powers of telescopic vision. You cannot help but wonder how far you can see. Tell me what lies ahead. This path leads first to Cantopani, a settlement of traders, though most are rogues and thieves. You should be there before the sun has reached its peak. From there, 3 routes lead on to Cristantani. But no single route is safe. Kakhabad is the land of devils. And beyond Kare? I cannot see so far, he says. But once you have crossed the city port of traps, you enter the Baklands. They say that day and night they are controlled by forces other than the sun. And from Kare, too, your progress will be watched. It is time to go. You thank him. You pass through the gate. The faces of the folk watching your departure reveal the hopes that rest on you and your quest. The early morning air is crisp, and the rising sun paints the slopes in shades of peaceful beauty, concealing the evil that lies ahead. The path winds through slopes of wild scrubland. The countryside is deserted, and the eerie silence is broken only by the cawing of the occasional crow. There is a spell for hearing what they say, but you do not have the equipment it requires. The birds appear to pause in the air to examine you as they pass. They make you uneasy, as if you were an intruder in their presence. Keep walking. Barely an hour beyond the wall, and the air begins to grow foul. The Shumatani Hills, Shumutanti Hills are infested with the pestilence of the Baklands. It saps the energy from your body, leaving you feeling nauseous and weak. Cover my mouth. Oh no. Oh no. You cover your mouth with your next serve, but it does no good. They warned you of this. You'll grow accustomed to it the longer you're out here, but for the moment you must be very careful. Your maximum stamina just decreased. You can see your stamina at the top of the screen. If this reaches 0, you'll be too tired to carry on. Stamina can be regained up to the maximum by eating rations or resting. Cross country or a low rise? Let's go this way. Another hour passes, and you crest a small hillock, from the top of which you can see the path continuing downwards into a small settlement of huts. This must be Cantopani. Look at the village. From this distance, it's hard to make out much about the town, except that it must be desperately poor. The fields on either side are brown with caked mud, and the few penned animals are thin and wizened like thirsty vines. No wonder the Sidemaster warriors don't trouble themselves to protect this place. There is nothing here to protect. Avoid the village? Let's go through the village. Why not? Of course, if you were scared of a town like Cantopani, then you could not hope to survive Kakavad proper. You follow the path down into town. The round huts are made of hard-baked bright clay, and the roofs are thinly thatched. As you pass, eyes appear at dark doorways, tracking your every move. For a moment, it seems like this will be all you see of the town's inhabitants. But then, a villager appears from one of the dwellings and blocks your path. Look at him. He is 5 feet tall. They cannot grow much taller out here in this poisonous air. He has thick-set arms and thighs, and is half-clothed in tattered breeches. His eyes are wild, and his long red hair and beard stand out from his face in a weary tangle. "Halt, stranger," he commands. "What business have you in Cantopani?" I'm merely passing through," you reply calmly. "There is no need to be concerned." But the villager is not content. "Passing through to where?" he replies, wild eyes gleaming. "There's nothing out there that any honest traveler should want to see." "I'm on my way to Kare. I've never traveled this road before." "I have myself never left this village," the man declares with pride. "Although I can tell you there are 2 paths ahead, but my advice is not 3. You must have money on you. For a gold piece, I'll tell you what I know." "I'll pay your fee," you reply, handing over a coin. The man takes your money gratefully with a nod and hides it away in a pouch at his waist. "I'm glad to help you, traveler," he says. "Know that beyond Cantopani there are 2 ways. The low path leads through the Vale of Elven, and unless you are ready for elven ways, for they are mischievous and magical, you had better avoid it. The highway," and he gestures upward with a hand, "will take you to the hills and past the Shanker mines. Lots of treasure there, they say, but you must keep your head if you take this path." And he laughs. "Why do you laugh? There is something you're not telling me." The man doesn't reply other than to draw a finger slowly across his throat. "Explain yourself or I'll cut you in 2. The man stands fast a moment, his eyes locked on you. Then a moment later he has darted away. The rest of the hut stays still and silent. Their inhabitants have witnessed the scene and are content to leave you be. You stride on to the very center of the village. There are a few larger houses here. Even Cantopani has nobility, it seems, but the only spot of interest is a small inn offering food for sale. Well, we already have rations, so let's just go through. Who cares? The tavern is not worth your time. It is too poor and meager to offer much hospitality. You head out of Cantopani and along the path into the Shumutani Tanti Hills. That's gonna be a mouthful to say every time. Striding past the outlying huts, you send the villagers rushing indoors to hide. Then, at the edge of town, you pass a large boulder, and at once, two rough-cut villagers spring out with swords drawn. Bandits. 2 against 1, the first declares. You're lost, calls the other. So find all your things, come on. You don't want any trouble, you declare. The first bandit edges towards you, a sword trickling at your throat. Running you through? No trouble at all. The pack. To find myself. You draw yourself to your full height. You have mistaken me for someone else. You will suffer for that mistake. The bandits growl and advance on you, one in either hand. Cast a spell to try and do some magic on this persons. What do I have? Can I do Jake? No, I don't have a flute. I can't do Jake. Shit. Okay, back. It's log. What was log? Fog. Summon darkness. Okay. Oops. No, I want to do a W. Okay. Wait, what? Didn't even. What? Hold on. Excuse me. Control non-intelligent. I think they have some intelligence, unfortunately. So it's L, F, and J. So F. Wait, what was FA? FA. Why do you even let me do FA if there's no? Okay, whatever. So yeah, just fog. Or wait, what's that last one? Off. Create a force field. Create a force field. Let's summon darkness. You cast the spell. The bandits flinch, waiting to be incinerated by a fireball, but all that happens is smoke begins to rise from your body and dissipate into the air. The bandits start to laugh, and then their good humor dies, and the first comes for your blood. Oh, I thought, like... I don't know, I thought it'd be like... Never used the darkness spell before. Alright. The first bandit closes on you, cackling and grinning. It's time to put this creature in its place. Okay, we don't have to do full... Let's shoot like that. That should be fine. You should have made things easier for yourself. The bandit goads and lunges forward with his sword. You go straight for his throat, knocking him back hard. The smile on his face splits into a cry. The bandit stops and coughs blood into the earth. He narrows his eyes in readiness. Because I don't know how to talk. Oh shit. Frick. Then the brute gets the upper hand, slipping wide leaves you open, and he charges with every ounce of his strength, knocking you back. You stagger backwards. Alright, well. There we go. That was a big mistake there. I should have went higher power, I guess. Rip. Enough of this. You aim a savage blow to his heart. The bandit gasps his last as you run him through. The second bandit takes one look at his dead colleague and turns and makes a run for it. Chase him. Chase the motherfucker. You immediately give chase. He will not get away so easily after trying to rob you. After a few minutes of scrambling between rocks, you have him cornered. You draw your sword and grin maliciously. The second bandit cries out. He's ready to fight if he must. He has more stamina, I think, it looks like. Ooh, look at that. The death of his friend seems to send the second bandit into a flying rage. He starts to scream wildly as he hurtles forward. You raise your own sword for a brutal attack and knock him to the floor. The bandit can barely find his balance. Alright, full power. Boom. You keep up the pressure and swing with expert precision and all of your strength. You strike is more than the bandit can take. He falls to the ground quite dead. The fight is over. You clean your weapon and regain your breath. Search the bodies. You search through the bandits' pockets and find nothing, not even a single gold piece. Their clothing is ragged and rough, worse than animals. You leave the bodies of the beasts to pick clean and set off again. And after about half an hour, the way becomes an uphill incline. Leaving Cantopani behind marks the true start of the wilderness. Beyond that tiny outpost, there are scattered homesteads in Kare, the thriving city port, while all are touched by cruelty, isolation, and fear. The Balklands and the long shadows caused by Mampang Fortress darken everything, danken everything. What the fuck? No time for reflection. There's no time for reflection. You know the importance of your mission. Now it has begun. You must simply survive first and succeed second. You are as well prepared as anyone could be. 5 minutes later, we should fork in the road, as the villagers described, so at least your coin was not wasted. Alright, let's go to the fork. The road splits around the base of a gigantic tree. It does not rejoin on the other side. The left path winds down into a valley, and the right rises up a slope towards the first thick forest of the hills. Look right. What was that again? I already forgot what it said. It's hard to see much further uphill. The forest is sudden and thick, and the path narrow. It may be hard going in that direction, but the hills will involve a lot of climbing eventually, and you may get a decent view of the next leg up from on top of the ridge. Left. You pause to consider the lower route. There's a river there, and the path follows the left bank. It is a safer route, secluded and protected, but the curve of the landscape would mean you are almost backtracking. You have to make your choice from here. A faint cry from somewhere close at hand. Look around. You look around, and finally up to the branches of the tree, a pair of wizened, calloused feet are dangling down over your head. About to drop on you, perhaps? Who's there? Who's there? You call. The voice cries again, a little more boldly this time. Up here! Up! Up! I can't get down! It is the voice of a feeble, wiry old man. Stepping back a little, you can see him clearly, as thin as sticks, dressed in dirt rags. How the old man caught up the tree is a puzzle. He looks too frail to lift his own weight. What are you hiding from? You cry. Damned Elvins, he replies. I were traveling from Thumpus to the outpost settlement in Enneland, but I were waylaid by Elvins, run me blind. All but took me eyes, and left me up the tree. I keep getting older, you see. We all do, but some worse than others. Climbed up, but I'm too old to get down. Okay, help him out of the tree, I guess. Swinging yourself onto the lowest branch of the tree, you reach up and grab the old man by the waist. He is as light as a leaf, and within a moment you have lifted him to the ground. Thanks for that, he remarks. Brushing himself down and almost knocking himself over in the process. I was just starting to get a bit, perturbed, but I'm on the safe side now. He seems remarkably confident, considering the slightest stumble might break him into bits. What will you do now? Keep going for Enneland, he says. As we're set off from a while back now. You'll move the store if I told you. Suffice to say, though, but no more eyes from my eyes. You're heading out to Mampeg. You better be smarter than I was, and here. He presses a page into your hand. It's a page, torn from a spellbook. This might be of some use to you. I found this. Just found it, mind. And don't go asking how. But it's no good to me anymore. Alright, take it. You take the page and put it into your pack. The man falls quiet and squats down on the ground. His jabbering done, you hear a buzzing sound from high up in the tree. A beehive. Best to get the beehive? I don't know. Let's leave. You must move on. The light is fading already as the old man dashes off downward towards Cantopani at a terrific pace. You consider your options. The high path or the low path? So... all the way through there. Yeah, let's go the high path. The high route seems the most already messed that up. It seems the most secure in a valley where you can be easily observed from above and led astray. But out in the hills, you can go whichever way you choose. Of course, when night falls, it may be cold and exposed on the slopes, but no matter. This journey was never destined to be easy. The path winds upwards into the hills and into the cover of wood. The afternoon sun glints through the trees and plays tricks on your eyes. Every so often, you catch a glimpse of some strange-shaped animal or other watching you, only to find that it's the silhouette of branches and leaves caught in an odd angle. After an hour's walk, you're starting to feel hungry. Well, let's just stop and eat for a second there. You clamber to the top of a low stone dolmen and sit and pull out a quantity of your cheese and bread and eat, while admiring the view down the hillside through a break in the trees. You feel better for your rest. Time to move on. You stand and put on your pack on which you had been sitting to prevent any creatures getting in, or any things falling out. Then you return to the path. Climb continues, with the path twisting this way and that. The air grows cold, and the sun flickers on the horizon, then sets, making it hard to see your way. The moon is full, and when twilight is done, it will be bright once more. And keep walking. You are young and strong. There will be plenty of nights later in your journey where you can catch up on sleep in a real bed. A quest such as yours requires endurance. You will suffer for it physically, of course. The stars come out one by one above you, writing out the names of the spirits, including your own, the camel. You continue on your weary way. As you walk, you think of the crown. It calls you onwards already, even though you have never seen it. It is as if it knows your name and is waiting for you, deep in the fortress of Mambang. But does it summon you to rescue it and restore balance and power to the Femfree Alliance? Or does it summon you to your death and destruction to place a seal on the power of the Archmage? The second day of your journey begins in the morning cool. You feel the presence of your spirit, the camel, close nearby. Its form has changed since you left Enland, just as you have changed, but it still is walking beside you. In the temple, they taught you that a prayer spirit could heal disease, lift curses, even save you from certain death. But the spirits are not generous and decline help often. You can feel yourself getting accustomed to the fetid air of these hills. You have now ascended several hundred feet and can expect to make excellent progress before the end of the day. As you crest the brow of a hill, you see something that makes you stop in your tracks. To your left is a clearing, and in the clearing are several poles, planted firmly in the ground. On top each pole is a head. Oh, that's not great. The heads are of all kinds and ages. Some are recently fixed, while others have decayed, and some are nothing but skulls and hair. There are human heads, goblin heads, and one or two heads of creatures you do not recognize. All have sewn-up eyes and mouths. A large X painted on a rock nearby is obviously intended as a warning not to venture any further. But ahead the road forks left and right, and you cannot be sure which path you are warned not to take. The right-hand path continues to climb, and the left-hand path winds down the side of the hill. Let's climb up. Why not? The climb continues up the next hill for several hours until you are not far from the top. Then the faint sound of bustling activity reaches you. Trampling feet, grunting voices, and the clanking of metal against rock. There's something ahead, hidden by the ancient trees that line these slopes. Follow the sound. You leave the path and continue through the woods. A short distance onwards, you hide behind a tree and survey a clearing. A number of goblins are in the clearing, working at the mouth of an open cave. They trudge in and out of the opening, carrying large bowls in their arm, piled up with glistening rocks and dull metallic nuggets. Watch them work. You stay hidden, getting a sense of the scale of the operation. There is 30 goblins inside the cave, each coming out every few minutes or so with a new pail of stones. Then there are the other goblins working in the clearing with hammers, smashing the rocks into small pieces, extracting metals from inside, loading them into carts, then finally pushing the carts away down a wide track between the trees. It is quite some operation, but not without its weaknesses. There are too many goblins creating any kind of distracted, but they move away into the trees fairly often, and sometimes the cave is left unguarded. Inside the cave. Let's go. You creep closer, moving around the side of the hill, near to the entrance of the cave. Then, when all is quiet, you seize your chance and race across the clearing to the mouth of the cave. Go, 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 go. You pause a moment at the cave mouth, but no one has seen you. Following the passage cautiously, you move between the cool rock walls of the mine, passing and ignoring ladders that lead down to the clambering heart of the mine, where 100 goblins sing as they work. Eventually, you reach a junction. Go right, go left, go right, go left. This probably comes out over here, right? If I go left, let's go left. You take the left passage, the passageway continues to reach a large stone-cut door blocking your way forwards. Try the door handle. You try the door, it opens. The room beyond is dirty with soot from the mine, so it could almost be a pit filled with night itself, with crystals in the rock for stars. In the far wall, you can just make out another door leading deeper into the mine. But the middle of the room is a table at which a large, filthy goblin is sitting. He raises his head as you enter and smells the air. Perhaps he is almost blind from so long underground. Your smell is strange, intruder, he challenges. You not permitted here. I choose my own way, you growl. Do you? Let me help you make your choice. The goblin rises to his feet. In a hand he holds a large stone club. Can I cast a spell? Let's see. Oh, yeah, I can. What's this one, actually? Let's. Click the thing. Nope. Can't do that one. What's that one? Nope. Can't do that one either. There's just one thing I can do. And I will. Create lightning. You cast a spell and both lightning shoots from your fingerprint to hit at the goblin. He reels backwards and hits the floor. White dead. The goblin defeated. There's nothing to stop you from moving forward into the mine. Search the room. Before you move on, you quickly scour the corners of the dark room in case there's any gold or weapons lying around. You find nothing until you search the goblin himself. He's wearing a silver key and a chain around his neck. You lift it away. Alright, go onwards. Time to see what more this mine has to offer. You open the door into a pitch-black passageway. Oops, I did not mean to press that, but okay, well, right. You push onto the depths of the mine, dust falls from the low ceiling. Your hand moves over the precarious wooden beams that hold the walls from tumbling in. Then you stumble, foot catching support. The support cracks. The piece of rock off the sides of your head tumbles through a gap in the ceiling, narrowly missing your skull. A rain of stone and dust follows. The ceiling is coming apart. Push on ahead, let's go. You are gripped by an insane idea. Racing into the darkness of an unknown mine is the only exit sealed off behind you. Do it. The crashing sound behind you lends you speed. Then suddenly you gasp as your foot fails to touch the ground below. Oh, you've fallen. You begin to drop. There can only be moments. Uh-oh. I don't think I have any spells that I can use. Let's no, that's not. I don't know if that's gonna have senses danger, that spell. I don't know if that'll. Oh. Well, yeah, duh. Yeah. You can do that. You cast a spell and your fall is broken instantly. You float gently to the ground below, landing softly on your knees. Hell yeah. You pick yourself up and look around. You're at the base of a deep shaft. It's hard to be sure how far you've fallen, but the top is lost in darkness. Still, it's not pitch black down here. A chink of light penetrates from somewhere far away, a crack nearby, or a tunnel mouth a long way off. You cannot tell. Start walking. Calmly and without delay, you start to walk towards the point of light. My goodness. It gets larger, but slowly, and your hopes lift with every step. It's definitely a way out. You can see the sky beyond. Your hands are running along the tunnel walls to keep you straight. When the ceiling comes down and you crawl for a few feet, then you freeze. Your hand is resting on something furry. Grasp it. You reach out with a thinking. That's someone messed that up a little bit. You reach out without thinking that whatever it is the small or whatever. Oh, you reach out with a thinking that whatever. That's a weird way to say that. That's a really weird way to say that. Your grip closes on the thing. It's not warm. That's a good sign, and it squishes easily, as if bones have been turned to jelly. Pull it closer to yourself, and realize you're holding a pair of fur boots. You laugh with relief and quickly scramble the rest of the way along the tunnel of sunlight. It's an opening. Climb out. Oh yeah, I knew it. Came out over here. Perfect. The climb out of the cave takes several hours, but every moment when you emerge into cool, fresh air once more, you've escaped with your life. Now examine the boots. You turn the boots over in your hands, you recognize the fur. It is borin skin. They will be very useful if you head through the snowy climbs. And then it is time to get moving. You set off once more looking for a path to get your bearings in the trees. Alright. The path climbs up a low hill, covered over with thick bushes and shrubs that snag at your clothing. Halfway up, you hear a sound, twigs breaking. Keep walking. Keep going. You keep striding forward when suddenly a large creature the size of a bear emerges directly in front of you. It has black and white fur and a long bushy tail that trails out behind. It growls menacingly. Can I just like get around it? Just like whoop. Perhaps if you were careful, you can slip around it. Let's go to the right. You try to slip towards the bushes, but clearly something about you, or what you carry, attracts the beast's attention as it sniffs the air and then moves towards you. Its sharp teeth on display. You will not be able to avoid a confrontation. The creature is a skunk bear, and it raises its tail, raises a nauseating odor. The smell that hangs around is terrible. Alrighty then. Cast a spell. What's this one? Nap? I don't have a pendulum. Oh, nope, can't do anything like that. I already did that one. Clone myself? Oh, maybe that might work. Be like a distraction. Sap. Wait, what? What? Didn't what? Hold on. No, you. What the frick? It's not letting me press the. There we go. Cause depression. I don't know if that's gonna work on an animal. I don't think so. What was law? Oh, control non-intelligent creatures. Alright, well, it's either law or the other one. What's the other one? I forgot already. I already forgot. 6, right? Create a clone. That only costs 1 stamina, so let's do that one. Clone myself. You cast a spell, and in a flash, 5 replicas of yourself appear in front of the creature. The confused beast lurches forward to attack one of them, and you use the opportunity to escape, leaving your magic clones to fight your battle for you. The path leads down through another valley and back up another hill. 2 hours pass. The sun is now just past the zenith, and everywhere a dusty heat rises from the baked earth. You are worn out, almost to the point of physical collapse. You need food and rest, and no more trouble. Today's been too punishing already. You begin to think about where you stay for the night. Another night of walking will leave you exhausted, but then you see a small village and set into the hill. You continue your slow trudge along the path. Let's go to the village. You walk into the village. Young hill dwellers pass you and stare at your strange clothes. Look at the people. Their own attire is rough by comparison to your gear. They wear their hair long but piled up on their heads. These people are ghastly poor. The village is like a ghost town, here on the knife edge of the Blacklands. Talk in an alehouse? Let's see. Walking down the single road, you quickly find a hut with its front coverings pulled wide open and the smell of brewed beer coming from inside. You go in. Several hill dwellers are here, talking gruffly. When you enter, they watch you with understandable caution. The owner of the hut comes to you. Welcome, Kristatani, he declares. What do you want? Great, the owner. An evening's rest and drink to wet my throat, you reply. Ale is one good piece, he answers. Please sit. You go over to the table where the hill dwellers are. Sit with the youngest. Sit with the youngest. You catch the young man's eyes. He moves a little right beside you, close enough to whisper in your ear, but you don't quite catch what he says. Repeat that? The man giggles to himself unexpectedly, leaning again, so close you can smell fumes on his breath. He declares, Snaticats. Then he collapses into a fit of giggles once more. Wherever the joke is, you cannot see it. Tell me about the village. The man nods twice, then drinks deeply from his beer to wet his throat, or perhaps not, because as he puts the mug down once more, he says nothing, just fidgets with his fingers and occasionally grins in your direction. Ask one of the dwellers about this man. You catch a woman's arm nearby. What's wrong with this man? You demand. She shrugs, slipping free of your grasp. Every village has one, she answers. Doesn't mean we're all like that. Good stock we are. Can't. Tried to make my voice weird, it didn't work. And she flutters her eyelids. You get back to your feet. The young man giggles to himself, but does not attempt to stop you. No, talk to the old man. You turn your attention to the oldest man at the table. Whatever face he once had is lost in a labyrinth of wrinkles, and his skin is the color of tan hide from a lifetime of beating in the sun. A lifetime in the beating sun. Greetings, old man. He rises his mug and speaks. Stranger. His face is gravelly like the dusty dirt that lines the streets of his town. Where are you from? I come from Analand. He nods. Not as many cross through Cantopani Gate. In either direction, if you know what I'm saying. I understand you. He grins and picks his teeth with a fingernail. They say war's coming. Something to do with the crown. Not if I can help it. Is that so? Replies the canny old man. Well, it seems like you should be drinking on the house tonight, for the good of all of us. Shanti. He calls the innkeeper over. I'll cover this lady's ale. She looks like she needs it. It's appreciated, you reply, rising your cup to him. You sip your beer, the old man exchanges glances with the younger man sitting opposite. What's the man about the area? Can you tell me something about this region? You ask. Cristitoni, certainly. I'll tell you that around here, we're always glad to help out strangers. Tell me what lies beyond this town. Beyond Cristitoni, there are two paths. One takes you past Aliana's house, and you will need your wits about if she's there. The other leads up into the hills and Liaki, domain of the Great Ones. Either way you choose, I wish you the luck of Sindla on your journey. Who is Sindla? God of hopeless causes. The crowd in the inn is starting to thin out. You finish your beer in a single draught and get to your feet. You make to leave the inn with a wave back to the old man who bought your drink. You step outside. You look this way and that, trying to decide what to do next, when you realize the old man has joined you once more. He grabs your shoulder and presses a fruit into your hand. Bomba, he declares through fermented breath. I grow them myself, good for the stomach. He pats your belly and walks away, swaying slightly. Look at the fruit. You turn the old man's gift over in your hand. You turn the old man's gift over in your hand. It is a thick-rinded fruit that keeps well and will be highly nourishing when you decide to eat it. Its only drawback is its incredible weight. It is now evening. It's time to sleep. Guess we'll go. Oops, no, remind. Nope, don't want to do that. Should we sleep in the air or sleep outside? Yeah, let's risk it. We'll go in the inn. You stop a passerby and ask for an inn. They lead you there directly. The woman who runs the place stands in the door with her arms folded. You from the king? She demands. Sure. I am on a mission from the king. Taxes? She replies quickly. Nope. The woman narrows her eyes at you. This is a guest house, the best in Cristitoni. Only guest stay, and any guest of mine knows that it costs me 3 gold pieces to host a traveler overnight, and 2 to feed them. But it's all between friends. I'll take a room. The woman shows you the way upstairs to a room. There are 3 other guests already staying, and asleep, so you settle quickly. The bed is not clean, but is comfortable, and after a long day, and all its narrow escapes, you're grateful beyond measure for the rest. I need to eat for the day, so I need to do that. Okay. Before you close your eyes, you quickly eat the old man's nourishing mamba fruit. You feel better for it, and it will help you sleep. Your dreams are vivid once again. You are walking, endlessly, the hills moving up and down under your feet like a rippling sea. Every step exhausts you, but no step moves you forwards. Meanwhile, a tall black creature strides towards you, wreathed in a foul-smelling smoke, and in the distance, a deep voice booming with laughter. The long, cruel fingers of one hand are curled around the metal frame of a crown, and with the other he beckons you forward, as if into a trap. Okay. You wake early and sit for a moment, in no great hurry to leave the village. This is now the 3rd day of your journey, and the muscles in your legs are feeling lean and strong from so much walking. You spend a short while enjoying the peace, then unhurriedly collect your possessions and set off along the path. Cristitoni is surrounded by several miles of fields. It sits in a well-protected ring of hills, and is close enough to the river to be reasonably prosperous. As you follow the path between lines of sun-baked crops, you come to a fork in the road. The right-hand way leads past a set of outbuildings, while the left heads directly off into deep woodland. Oh, can't. Oh, okay. Between buildings. Hmm. Yeah, why not? Let's go to the forest, or woods, or whatever they're called. Your journey is too important to slow down by talking to locals. You must pass unseen, so you disappear into the jungle of tall trees. For a short while, the sun is feverish, and then you are between trees once more, and everything becomes cool and still. You walk for several hours uneventfully. This is land that was never settled or explored, and very few travel this way. In places, bushes and shrubs have grown over into the path. Move cautiously. You pick your way carefully forward, moving slowly but silently between the trees. If there are any beasts nearby, you should be able to wring their necks without hearing you approach. You come into a fork in the road, still deep in the forest. Someone has stopped to make a sign, perhaps as a guide or perhaps as a warning. The way to the right is marked for Dumpus. A left turn points to Aliana, a name you remember from what the man in Sasani told you. Neither way seems the better trod, not the choose. Yeah, let's go to this house. I don't remember if I've been here before in other playthroughs. Hmm. The path winds between trees that get greener and more lush. You must be closer to the river here, although you cannot hear the water. After about half an hour's walk through dappled shade, you come across a well-built hut. Flowers decorate its walls, and the door has been painted with ornate designs. The path ends here. Let's knock. You approach the door and knock. There is no reply. Scout around. You perform a swift circuit around the hut, but find nothing unusual or concerning. It seems to be what it is. The hut, set by itself deep in the forest. But for someone to survive out here on their own, surrounded by the beasts of the jungle, they must be someone quite powerful. Let's just open the door. Fuck it. Push open the door and stride inside. The hut is immediately laid down. You detect the touch of a fastidious woman. Chairs are set around a table as if for guests. A mattress lies in one corner, and a large kitchen area indicates that whoever lives here, they are fond of cooking. Let's call out. Hello, is there anybody here? To your surprise, a voice quickly answers. Who's that? Who's that? Locate the speaker. Looking into a corner, hidden by a large cupboard, you see a cage in which a young woman is imprisoned. Oh boy. Uh, Good stranger, she pleads. Let me out of this cage, I beg you. What happened to you? You move over to the cage, quite shocked. What happened to you? Oh, good stranger, I've been locked up here for 2 days. It was Elvins that did it. Those mischievous, prankful Elvins. Please, you must help me. I have not eaten, and they left me here, where I can see all my cooking things but cannot reach them. If I let you go, what do I get in return? Sister, she answers, looking mercifully. I am but a poor woman. And I'm a poor traveler. Now tell me, what can you give me for your freedom? The woman looks dreadfully unhappy but nods. You're on a journey, she says. You really must help you. It is dangerous wilderness out there. Tell me, in your heart, are you a fighter or are you an enchantress? I did both. Let's say magical art. I'm a mistress of my magical art. In this wood, she says, I have collected and gathered all sorts of magical artifacts. Release me from this cage, and I'll give you 2, no 3 items of great power. Just search the house for she has instead of open the cage. I'll open the cage. You are most generous. Or oh no, that's me saying. You are most generous. You reply with a slight bow. I will release you. Going over to the cage, you try the door. It is locked, of course. Okay, well, that's easy enough. Cast a spell. Where is it? No, not Z. I thought I clicked D. What the hell? There you go. But no, I clicked D. Like, what the There we go. What the hell? Boom. You cast a spell over the lock and it begins to shiver. Like a small beetle, it hums and clicks as the tumblers turn to work. Then finally it snaps open and drops to the floor. The woman claps her hands in delight, and with the door open, she rushes out and throws her arms around you before backing off a pace and trying to regain her composure. Stranger, she declares, I am in your debt. Aliana will reward you. I promise you magic. She rushes quickly over to a wall and opens a panel you had not seen before, and takes out a small box, which she places in her hands. No tricks, she says with a smile. All these things will aid you, if you know how they are meant to be used. Then sure, let's see what's in the box. You flip open the box. It contains a small vial of glue, a pair of strange-looking nose plugs, and 4 small pebbles. You pocket them and give back the empty box. The lady's been freed, it seems like there's nothing more to keep you here from your quest. Yeah, let's leave. I must be on my way. I have many more miles to cover today. Of course, please, before you go. She holds out something. It is a small bag of gold coins. Sure, why not? What the fuck? You bow your head and accept the gift. There are 7 gold pieces inside. And one more thing you must understand, Albion does not give gifts to those who are not worthy, and any worthy woman is capable of dying. Suddenly, before your eyes, 2 transformations are taking place. The first is in one of the chairs, which begins to crack and creak, standing and stretching until it is formed into a violent wood golem, advancing with fibrous claws outstretched. The second is an Alion's face, gone in her peaceful calm, and displaced the cackling madness of a witch. Alright, let's try and cast the spell. Let's see, what do I know? I don't have a flute, I can't do that. I don't remember where to get a flute from either. Shit. Ah, damn it. Okay. What did I just do? Did I? No, I looked at that. H. Do I have hot? I can use hot? Maybe. But what's the other one we got? Might be there. Dawes? What's that? Slowness. Slowness or fireball? No, slowness. Why not? You cast a spell and the creature stops in its tracks. Or no, it is still advancing, but extremely slow steps. This will be an easier battle now. Draw your sword. Alright, just go, Xiao. The golem lumbers towards you, its movements like something from a nightmare. Behind Aliana, it cackles with monstrous glee, and it lunges a blur of wooden splinters, heading straight for your eyes. You raise your sword and arm to carve the thing in two. A layer of wood dust is beginning to spread across the floor. The creature is falling to pieces. The wood golem lumbers forward, dragging its talons across the floor. Let's try a big attack again. Yeah, there we go. We're good. We're good. You press the advantage on the slow thing. You aim for a blow for its eyes. When your blade lands deep, you cut again, twist, and with that, the golem explodes into 100 fragments of wood. Alana gathers up the fragments of the golem, all thought of you forgotten. Does she have a tear in her eye? You step quickly outside. You retrace your steps to the last junction, where you turn to take the path to Dumpus. All right. The path winds a few more times around gigantic trees, thousands of years old, and then emerges onto a sudden plain, as if the forest had been scooped away by a gigantic hand. A river trickles thinly between short grasses, and by its banks stands a tiny village. Actually, forgot to check. What is it? Did I ever check that frickin'... Okay, what's this one? Hold on, be right back. Okay, I have returned. So what is this? What was the six law dumb? Oh no, okay, it's one of the ones that says big. Walk. What is this? Card's so transforms to a visible metal shield. It's coin lost. Okay. Stop. Yep, that one. Raz can't do that. Don't have beeswax. Sussex. Yep. No. Don't have that. Don't have that. Don't have that. Gum. Vial of glue. It causes the glue to become super sticky. So some stick creatures to the floor or walls are throwing. Resting on top of the doors like falls when the door is opened. Okay. How? Hmm. That's the pop. It's all. Oh, okay, this spell's only cast necro. That's why it didn't work. It has to be a closed room. To use fog. Got it. Niff. Because you're filled with nauseating stench, so violent creature casting will need to vomit. Oh god. You can't. Okay. Got it. Oh, more pronounced creatures with large noses. Alright. Okay. Mm. Ah. Wait, green haired wait for tutoring spells? What? Huh. Okay. I didn't realize there was two communication spells at that. Said. Yeah, I was trying to see if like what was the page that the guy gave us. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Spellbook page. There it is. The page is torn through, only half the spells visible. CA. Oh. Okay. I don't really know what that is. Okay. Cool. Good to know. Alright. Yeah, let's go to the village. Ugh. Today has been a short day with few true dangers. With a decent meal and a night's sleep, your next day will start auspiciously. So begin with a gentle climb down to the village. You follow the path down to the village, passing a sign which declares it to be Dumpus. The streets are thin and narrow. Buildings have been set close together as if trying to withstand a storm. There's a terrible smell hanging in the air. All in all, it seems an unpleasant place. Find an inn. You find an inn at the very center of Dumpus. It is a tumbled down building with mats spread across the floor and a kitchen range that fills the air with an appealing spicy smell. God dang. The man who runs the inn is wiry and looks as if he does not eat a thing himself. 3 gold pieces for hill fox broth, he tells you, and 3 pieces, 3 for a place to rest your head. The very mention of food is enough to set your stomach rumbling. No rest. You pay 3 gold pieces, and the man sells you to a mattress in one corner of the room. Your last thoughts are of your empty belly and awareness that tomorrow will bring. Oh, I didn't mean to. Whatever. It's fine. I have enough stamina. I can survive. Thought I was going to eat. It was meant he was going to buy the food. I didn't want to do that, but whatever. You dream strange dreams as you sleep. Your thoughts are dominated by the strange woman in the hut. In your mind, she's become younger than she truly was. Flowers seem to blossom from her hair, as though she was grown from the earth herself. Overhead, you fancy you hear the flap of giant wings. The birdmen came for the crown. Perhaps before the journey is finished, they will come for you. Okay, leave that place. You rise early, dismiss the attentions of the innkeeper, and head onto the street. In a few minutes of walking, you are out of Dumpus and back on the road. After another hour or so, the way branches with only one path heading up into the hills, and the other turning downhill along one side of a barren stony ridge. Is that a village you can make on the top of the hill? It seems a pretty lonely place for it. Don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure. Let's go to the village. The gentle upward slope becomes a steep climb, and you are forced to rest several times. So far, you have been walking through the foothills. Now the journey will become more serious. And finally, you reach the summit and can look out over the low plateau you've created. Usually, the path runs through a small settlement of crudely fashioned huts. There are villagers out in the street talking and working. It's a happy, bustling place. Let's approach. There seems no obvious danger. You approach along the path until you are close enough for the villagers to notice you. The effect is immediate. They begin to scurry inside their huts as if you were an army and not a lone traveler. You cannot help but notice what a sorry bunch they are. Squat and short and all limping strangely. Their bodies are thin and malnourished, and as they disappear through their doors, you notice some are missing limbs. So let's knock at one of the doors. You knock on the door of one of the nearest huts. There's no reply. Okay. Leave the village. This place seems normal enough, but you cannot be sure. You take a side path out of the village as soon as one appears out on the ridge. The path turns down a steep slope and into some trees. Alright. It's difficult to see the way ahead through the tree line, but you thrust to the course, and eventually the path bursts out onto a narrow stone ledge high above the valley floor. The ledge leads left and right. There's no way forwards. Okay. Look left. You can see that the narrow ledge is formed by a splitting of the rock that leads all the way down into the misty valley floor. If there is a path up the other side, it is not clear from here. Okay, looking right, you're taken aback. As out of the mist that fills the valley, an impossibly wide bridge looms into view. As if it had only now fallen into place, it is made of planks and thick ropes and suspended from the peak to the peak of the other side. Who could have built such a marvel, and how long ago? I'm gonna rest and eat for a moment. Perching on the edge of the stone outcrop, you eat some provisions and feel a little better for it. Alright, you take a moment more staring at the bridge. It forms a delicate curve across the valley, swaying very slightly in the wandering wind. The more you look, the more it seems too perfect. Could such a bridge possibly exist? Or is it mere illusion to trick the incautious traveler? Then it is time to move on. Getting to your feet once more, you take a moment to find your balance before moving on. Once the pier, you will fall a long way down. Let's go to the valley. The bridge seems untrustworthy. Should anything happen while you are halfway across it, there would be no escape but the last, most final kind. Better to walk. You make your way along the stone ledge. The angle is steep and it's hard going not to stumble. At the valley floor is a dried up river covered in worn stones, bound by water that is now long gone. Small caves open the rock face nearby, with rusty machinery abandoned outside. There was mining here once, but it must have been a long time ago. A wider track made for carts carrying ore leads up the far slope. Look around. You pause for a moment to recover your breath and look around. You walk for a while between the ancient machines that list out in the mud beside the riverbed. Gigantic hoppers, now bronze with rust, with huge spiked wheels in their sides and chutes leading between them, now thick with bindweed, slugs, and mud. Whatever the machines were for, they have not worked in decades, maybe even centuries. Oh, the riverbed. You look down the riverbed, nothing but a carpet of stones. Take some stones. You choose 3 nice round pebbles and stash them in your backpack. Heavy to carry, but not useful. Investigate the mines. You approach the mine entrance. A wet wind greets you from the depths. The mine shaft must lead somewhere, but it's pitch dark. There are no torches, and you do not have any light of your own. inside or climb down? Mime. Your breath is short and your heart is hammering as you pause halfway up the valley slope. A small wooden hut is opposite, set a little way back from the path. Okay. Think you might be able to stop for directions. You head towards the hut, but halfway across the scrub towards it, you see a figure emerge from the doorway. A troll. Drop out of sight. Crouch down quickly and watch anxiously to see what the troll will do. The creature stands outside the hut for a few minutes, looking this way and that, his colossal head turning with the speed and dexterity of a mill wheel. Then he stomps away around the curve of the hill, probably a few minutes before he reappears. Want to check inside the hut? Tempting. Very tempting. You seize the opportunity and race over to the hut to see what you can pilfer. Inside you find his barren shack. There's a low oak table in the center and no windows. There's no door, and a pile of blankets in one corner is the only nicety. Search the blankets. Lift the corner of the blanket with the tip of your sword, and hidden away you find 3 gold pieces. Most likely the trolls paid for the entire year. Take the money, take the money. You take it quickly and draw the blankets back as you found them. The creature will be back any moment. You should go. You've been here long enough. Quickly you return and hurry away just in time to see the troll returning from his patrol around the edge of the hill. It hasn't seen you and it's too stupid to notice anything you might have moved or left out of place. It moves to enter its hut. Slip away. With the troll out of sight, you hurry along the path, not pausing again until the hut is far out of sight. Okay. Another hour passes as you finish the climb. With the sun starting to hang heavy in the sky, you reach the top and meet at the other end of the rope bridge. You continue on down the slope as evening draws in. Some way down the hill, you stop for rest and sit in the boulder to survey what lies ahead. The path leads downward, and at its foot, cradled between 3 peaks, is a village, and quite a large one at that, compared to the mournful spot you've just passed through. And behind you, the sun is falling rapidly into the hills. It'll be nice soon. Approach the village. The village looks like a good place to stop. You hop down from the boulder and make your way forward, and an overhanging branch touches your face and you hear a lively chirping. Keep going. You do not turn. A small imp-like being buzzes up to you on tiny wings. You shrug, indifferent to the small creature. I'm Jan, it says, sitting on your shoulder. I'm a Mennonite. You make no reply and continue walking. You descend onto the bowl of the valley. The hill on either side are towering tall and throw the village in deep shadow. You seem a very gloomy, threatening place, but from the streets come the distant sound of laughter and merriment. Enter the town. You continue along the path. The sounds of festivities grow louder. It's almost spooky here in the shade of the valley, and after so long on the dire road, people in this village seem to be enjoying themselves. What's going on? Jan, what's going on here? Are they bewitched? Jan shakes his head. No, if there is magic, believe me, I know. This is the Festival of the Young. Mental festival. You pass the first few buildings where you find a number of children sitting in the street and drinking out from deep mugs. Further on, a young boy is holding an old woman over his knee and is spanking her. On the other side of the street, a group of boys is fighting outside a hut with a sign that reads Glandragger's Tavern. It's all complete mayhem. I remember this town. I remember that's from another playthrough. You consider helping the women, but there's nothing you can do. It is their festival after all. Enter the tavern. Behind the bar, a thick-set man is wiping mugs down with an old rag. Greetings, stranger, he calls. I'm Glandragor. Can I be helping you? Greetings. I have come a long way. I'm sure you have. Take a seat. You do so, and Jan leaps up and onto the counter. Glandragor seems amused rather than alarmed by the creature. How much is a mug of ale, you ask? 2 gold pieces, and it's the finest in town. Well, it's the only ale in town, I'll make sure of that. Sorry, buy a mug. You put 2 gold pieces down on the countertop, and Glandragor pulls you a mug of beer. It's warm, sparkling, and deeply refreshing. Glandragor smiles. You look like you've been on the road a while. You have no idea. Tell me about the village. Landtracker shrugs. Not much to say. What you see is what you get. The place keeps going because it's on the... Oh god. Blah. Blah. It's on the owner up to Kare and Ketchapani. If one of these mountains falls, or the river freezes over, this place will be desert in 2 weeks. Headed for Kare myself. Well, of course you are. Didn't I just tell you that? Can you tell me about it? Kare. I loved the girl in Kare once. It's the town for love, you know. You have to live every day like it's your last in Kare, because the chances are high that it will be. Now, there's a city of thieves if there ever was one. I'm sure you'll be right at home. I have my magic. Now then you'd better lose that thing here, Pies, flicking Jan with a finger. The tiny creature rolls over uneasily. He seems to be ill. Landtracker goes back to wiping down his bar. Then a thought occurs to him. You'll be passing through Torapani, I suppose. The Sfinns' Torapani are normally a merry lot, but they're pretty depressed at the moment. There's a real gloom about the place. I'll bear that in mind. You're a thoughtful soul, I see that. From the counter, Jan issues a loud burp. He's been sipping meal from puddles from bar tub and now quite drunk. Alright, slip away. A perfect opportunity gives give the critters the slip. You get quietly to your feet, but you don't quite manage it. The last moment, Jan rouses himself and flies wobblingly back into your soldier. I love you, he whispers into your ear. Let's go further into town. You head out of the tavern and turn a corner to find a group of girls standing by a signpost pointing to the crystal waterfall. They are chirping up their elders as they pass and giggling. It's the waterfall. You stop at the group and ask them about the waterfall. But they're too distracted by Jan, whom they delight in poking, tickling, and generally cooing over. After a few minutes of asking them about the waterfall, you give up and walk away. Jan sides missing attention. Okay. You leave the girls there snickering. Find an inn. Let's go to the waterfall. You go back past the girls and head up a path that climbs through a crack in the mountainside. Soon the air is filled by thundering. It's quite a climb, but eventually you turn a corner through a narrow cleft in the rock and catch your first glimpse of the tall natural waterfall. Lunging down from the cliffs overhead, large crystal stalactites hanging down on either side of the water. There's only one path to reach it, winding up the rock face, and it passes by a small hut where ruffians collecting money. Shady, scout ahead. Why don't you scout ahead? Find out if this waterfall is worth the money. Shan looks uncertain but agrees. Alright, but I'll be quick. Don't you can get rid of me just like that. I can catch up. Okay. Cast a spell. What do I got? What's that? Yeah, you know what? Sure. Great stench. Let's do it. Fuck it. You raise the spell, sticking your nose close and quickly, and a terrible smell begins to emanate from under your armpits. Right. And the ruffian begins to retch and turn a purple color. He covers his nose and mouth quickly with a hand, and with the other waves you passed. Go on, he hisses. You smell like you need it for the love of Sidla. With a nod, you hurry past the waterfall. You head up to the waterfall, which cascades forcibly into a deep pool. I did not think the stench would come from me when I cast them. The Mennonite is waiting for you by the path and jumps on your shoulder as soon as you appear. So you decide to come anyway, he whispers in your ear. I suppose you do smell like you can get a bath. You strip off your clothes and dive into the pool. The Jen flitters through the froth. The cool water is fresh and invigorating, and you feel yourself getting rapidly better. You feel a huge swell of confidence. Coming here was the best decision you have ever made. Now you can move on, refreshed and ready for the night. Okay. Sleep by the waterfall? Yeah, why not? Sleep by the waterfall, who cares? The idea of going back to the village now is unappealing. You're refreshed and calm, and the scenery here is beautiful and peaceful. Getting out of the pool, you dry off, collect your things, and head off into the trees to find a spot to rest. Between curling roots, you find a small place to settle down. Did I already say that? What the fuck? To settle down to rest. The pesky Midnight Jan perches a little way above on the knot and is fully asleep. You're tired enough to follow suit. Yeah. You rest your head into your backpack and close your eyes. Perhaps a few hours pass and you awake suddenly, however, a shadow moving between the tree trunks. It turns and sniffs the air. The wolfhound. Night or spell. Can I cast a spell? Is Jan too close? What's this one? Big. Oh, I can just get big. Bug. It's that lot. Non-intelligent creatures. I can't do Jig. I don't have the thing. You know what? Big. Yeah, big. Big human. Yeah, oh, no. He's too close. God damn it. Okay. You complete the spell, but nothing happens. The wolfhound charges you. You draw your sword, the long metal flashing in the moonlight. The beast roars and howls. Should I just go for a big attack? Yeah. Big attack. Big. The wolfhound creeps towards you, jaws dripping and fur shining red. It will not listen to reason. You charge headlong, it bounds forward a little to run itself into your blade. It writhes and howls. If the wolfhound grows weaker, its snarl gets madder. Dang. Defended. You turn your grip around for a vicious blow. The wolfhound drops back. The wolfhound is crawling now, its fur thick with dried blood. It's tense, preparing to pounce. A slavering beast runs for your neck. You react on instinct, dodging around a tree for cover. Now cut. You turn your blade about for a wild attack. The blade cuts deep as the wolfhound weakly opens its jaws to bite. You plunge your blade between its teeth and all the way down to its heart. The wolfhound howls a gurgling, blood-soaked sound, and then it dies. The beast defeated, you pause to regain your breath and wipe your sword. Then, once satisfied, you lay down again and try to sleep. Jan flutters down and resettles on your shoulder. Your dreams are full of plague victims. Their faces raw with boils and streaming sores. The rest of the night passes silently. You rise early from your spot beneath the tree, and as you gather your things, Jan looks up onto your shoulder. Ready to go? Ready to go? He chirps. You pass through the village, which is now as quiet as the grave, and rejoin the path on the far side. Tanti. The sun sets on the horizon, a gleaming jewel. If all goes well, you'll reach Torapani today, the last village in the Shumatani Hills. After a short climb, the path breaks, heading uphill to the left and downhill to the right. With Torapani so close, it hardly matters which way you go, surely. If I remember right, yeah, there's over here, this way. I remember this. I've never chosen the other option, so I want to keep going. We go right, you decide. Then be on your guard, Jan warns you. You climb a rise. The way is not too steep, and as noon approaches, you have crested the ridge, then are descending yet again. You're not the highest point of the hills. The trees are thin. The view west goes on forever, and sometimes you catch glimpses of Kara and the northern horizon. Stop and eat for a second. Taking a brief pause, you ration of your food and feel better for it. Then you can continue along your path. Jan is in a talkative mood over the worst of his headache from last night's drinking, and fills the air around with chatter about what he can see and how things smell and what he plans to do once he makes his fortune in Kare. It's enough to make you wonder if you could sell him as a companion to a blind old lady somewhere. You pass from the open hillside into a patch of deep forest. Quite suddenly, Jan falls quiet and hisses in your ear. Stop! Stop now! Why? Because something is following us. You come to a dead stop. Jan is right. Something is moving through the trees behind you. A moment later, a point of steel has emerged from the darkness between two trees and touches your neck. You've seen me. sir. I see nothing. You are quite safe. It is not I who is not safe. Prepare to fight. You have a moment to draw your sword before the tall, dark figure of an assassin emerges from the trees. He is dressed head to toe in black, and had you not seen him a moment before, even though he'd been standing in the mere arm's length away, he was a sharp scimitar and expert hands. Can't cast a spell because Janet's in the air. Alright. Full blast. The assassin nods at you, raises his curved sword and salute, and then takes his position. Measure the weight of your sword, then bring it up to deliver a cleaving blow. The assassin turns his curved sword about. You notice the assassin staggering into the tree. He seems more surprised than hurt. Closing his eyes, he murmurs a quick prayer and sets his stance. Defend. Yep. Okay. You drop yourself into a crouch as he powers forward, but it only tires him out. You're mostly unharmed. The assassin laughs appreciatively. He spins his sword about to shift the sword across his body. Let's defend again. You hold firm and keep your defense. His light bulb sails over your head, moving with the deadly speed of an attacking serpent. You're mostly unharmed. He nods to you wisely. I don't know how big I should attack. Oh, damn it. He defended this time. It's time to attack. You rush forward with a deep, heavy slash, but the impact clangs against his turned sword. He grins. Breathing deeply, the assassin whispers a mantra. Readies his blade. My god, I cannot speak. You open your defense. He attempts a strong stroke. You parry as best you can. He raises one hand and draw a finger in a line across his throat. Alright. Much as I can now. Damn it. Keep. Alright. Act quickly, you swing a masterful swipe. The blow jumps back over the hilt of his blade. He grimaces with effort. And yeah. Okay, block. You ready yourself to block as he launches forward? It only exhausts him. You're mostly unharmed. The assassin swivels his grip. The weapon sings as it moves. Defend again. Boom. You stay steady and keep your defense. The attack was past from left. You are mostly unhurt. I'll try one more defense. Just there we go. Yep, I knew it. You circle around him at arm's length. And he hangs back and watches you without emotion. The assassin flicks the blade through the air, crouching as he moves. Full power. Leaping into action, you dive forward with a deep, heavy blow, but the blow you land is only minor, because the assassin just stands swiftly. Blood drips from the assassin's tunic. He curses under his breath. Breathing deeply, he murmurs a mantra. Yeah. You jog into a low stance as he pushes forward with a forceful swing. You defend as best you can. The assassin raises the sword above his head, crouching as he moves. I'm gonna try that. There we go. Dancing left, you sweep a masterful slash. He's off balance and moving slowly, and then as his blade glows deep, he turns and tumbles, loosening his sword as he topples. I am not so proud as to not admit when I am beaten. You may finish me if you so choose. But if you do me an honor and use my own blade. The assassin is not dead, but lies on the floor gasping. Spare him. Then get up. You settle him, holding your sword back, but not putting it away yet. He nods and seizes his own blade. You are worthy, Victor. I am glad to meet you. Now you have saved me. You own me in part. My name is Flanker, and I am assassin and a thief. What do you give me for your life? You have my name for one. My name is a thing of power. He bows his head once, perhaps in respect, perhaps from the pain of his injuries. You are traveling to Kare? Yes? Yeah. I go that way as well. I will not travel with you, but once you are there, perhaps I will see you. If so, I will not forget the debt I owe you. I'll remember you. He bows his head again. This time, it's definitely from pain. You cannot aid me. I can't? I have caused your I have caused your wounds. I will help you. Are you a doctor? I do not think you are. Bind his wounds. Tearing strips of dark fabric from his clothing, you bind his wounds tightly and the bleeding lessens. You were too kind to a man who was about to kill you. Let that be a lesson to you. You reply as you gather up your things and head out of the forest, leaving him behind. You have a sense you have made a powerful friend. How much longer do you think we'll be traveling today? The Mennonite on your soldier asks. I'm hungry and tired. We've gone such a long way. You can stop here. You'd like that, I'm sure you would. You continue along the path and around the side of a hill. A wooden hut is set into the slope, with an old woman sitting on the front step. A river seems to emerge from beneath her. As you get closer, you realize the water flows underneath her house, and the house itself is set on splayed struts like an insect, straddling the watercourse. A few paces from the front of the house, the water plunges over the edge of a sheer cliff and disappears. You greet the woman. Greetings. You call. The woman looks up at you and smiles. Come over here, won't you? I can barely see you. You approach the old woman. She smiles a toothless smile and gets up from the step. Come in, please. I get so lonely living out here on my own away from the villages. Go inside. Thank you. You follow her inside and take a seat by a long wooden table. I'll bring us some tea. She sounds almost nervous. Hurrying to her kitchen, she returns with 2 large cups. Watch it. I don't trust this one. Not that I care what happens to you, of course. Drink the tea. You make to sip your tea when the old woman stops you, catching your arm before the cup reaches your lips. Oh, I've forgotten the pot. She goes back to the kitchen to fetch it. Drink my tea. You lift your mug, blow with the steam, and take a sip as the old lady returns. The old lady lifts her own mug and takes a deep gulp. Your own tea is gently refreshing. Then she sputters and coughs and grips her side. Let's wait. You sit back and watch to see what will happen. She's trying to smile, but the pain is really quite severe. Stumbling and almost falling, she staggers to her kitchen and gulps down another drink. When she returns, she seems much better again. I'm not as young as I was. But tell me about you. You're a traveler? Yeah. I'm going to Kare. How wonderful! Such a delightful city. Tell me, on your journey, you did not cross an old man, did you? I mean, probably, which depends which one. Yes. Not just any old man. The one was carrying a page from a spell book. Yeah, I'll show the page. What is the spell? It's a spell of pest repulsion. You have no idea how useful it is around here. 4 days ago, I was visited by a traveler such as yourself. When I was away making tea, as I always do, he started leafing through my book and tore out a page. He must have been a wizard of power because he vanished almost too fast for me to curse him. What curse did you cast? Well, you saw him. I aged him. Didn't stop him escaping, though. She flushes with the page, repairing her spell with some gentle magic. Shall I show you how useful the spell is? Sure. My pleasure. Jan makes a squeal and screech and makes some awful noises about what it'll do if he ever catches up with you again. It doesn't stop the old lady from casting her spell. The Mennonite vanishes. You feel a flow of magic through your body. You hadn't realized it was gone, but with the Mennonite around, your spells have been weakened, and now you're strong once more. Thanks. The old woman nods her head and you leave her hut. Cool, now I can use magic again. The parallels from the upcoming area. It's now late afternoon. You pass over the brow of the next hill, and below you is the village of Torapani, sunk from one side of the valley to the next like a flood barrier. Perch. Still, there's no way around it. It's too large to destroy with a fireball. You have to go through it. Why is that? Why is that a thought? I don't think I've had destructive thoughts much, have I? You enter the village. There is a definite air of depression hanging over the place. The Svins are going about the business, slowing miserably. Pay you no heed. So just sub down on a tree stump at the very center of the village. Consider your options. Let's do this. You spy a group of Svins sitting outside a low hut, and you walk over and sit yourself down. They are discussing a friend apparently killed in the night by an assassin's carved blade. Is that why you're all afraid? We are afraid of no thing, retorted one of the Sven furiously. But no, much worse. Another Sven bangs his head down on the table. Oh, it's Ested, who saved Tia. Who is Tia? Or Flower? The Sven who answered a tear from the corner of his eyes, scratching himself painfully with an uncut fingernail. Tia's chief's daughter, the other Sven says. Esh was to save her, now Esh not alive, so Tia soon not alive. Well, let's save her. You? You said her weak, not even green. Trouble is, our villages die if chief line end, Tia's end. So if end ends, we end, all very sad. Very sad. Who are you? Sorcerer. Sorcerer! A sudden gleam enters the biggest one's eyes. Great sorcerer. I do my best. Best is good. Meke, Tifa. He signals to the others, who are quickly on their feet. Big, hefty arms waiting for you. We take the chief. Before you can resist, they have you and are hauling you bodily on the shoulders. Pray to my spirit for aid. In a whisper, you begin to pray to your spirit, the ape, for aid. Nothing happens immediately. Then you reach a low hut and you're thrown to the earth. Your arms and legs are released. Perhaps your spirit had heard you. You cannot be sure. But now that you've summoned the powers above, they will not help you again. Rip. Ah. Door is slammed and locked. A moment later, it reopens, and your possessions are thrown inside. Try to sleep. A mere few minutes pass with no more movement. Figuring they're probably now waiting until daylight, you put your head down to sleep. Your dreams are filled with grasping hands and long dark nails scratching at your flesh. They however much you toss and turn on the floor, you cannot quite get them out of your mind. Is that the... Oh, is that not the end of the music? I can't tell. Oh, no, it's still going. Okay, it's just... This one song is very low. At daybreak, you are still alone. An hour passes before you hear any noise outside, and then the door to the hut opens, and 5 Svins come in. They drag you roughly out and across the street to another hut, where an old man with gray hair sits. He's wearing outlandish, colorful robes. My name Perseus, chief. He slaps his chest twice. I apologize. Then he bows, brushing dust on the floor with his sleeves. Brush him. No apology accepted. The chief nods. He waves to a menial who brings in bread and milk. Eat. The bower. Gratefully, you bolt down the meal. It does not seem to be poisoned and nourishes you. The bowl is removed and the chief squats down in a pool of cloth. I have need of you and your strength. Sure. The chief bows. I am grateful. My daughter, my child, she is taken, offered to a terrible demon below. Okay, you want me to rescue her? Succeed, you may choose your reward. Fail, and I'll do it. I hope you will. He gestures to the other citizens who, still taking no chances, grab you by your arms and haul you to your feet. You are led along a short pathway through the forest to a crack in the ground. One Svin has brought a rope and another a basket. They're preparing to lower you down to the pit of the earth itself. Pay me richly for this. We are poor, but we will try. Good. Watch the darkness. You hit the floor with a thud and peer into the darkness. Your eyes can make out nothing, but a slight breeze suggests endless space in all directions. Your blind help is trapped. Something clatters to your feet from above. Another Svin shouts something down to you. Feel around the ground. You crouch down, feeling around your feet until your hand closes on the base of something. You pick it up, and it's a dry wood torch. Something else falls from above and strikes you on the head. Tinderbox! Calls the voice. Then out for the tinderbox. Rubbing the bruise on your head, you reach down and find the tinderbox. Light the torch. You strike a light and the torch blazes into flame. Alright. You can see now you're in a large cavern, wide and deep. At the far end, passageways disappear to the left and right. Through an uneven waterfall at the end of the cavern, you hear a murmur. And listen by the rocks. You clamber over the rocks at the edge of the cavern and investigate the sound. It is whimpering, coming from the other side of the pile of stones. Spin girl, perhaps? She came in this way, but the cave blocked her path. You'll find another way. Alright, go left. You go left and creep slowly into the darkness. You're straining for the sound of an approaching threat. The passageway slopes down a short way, then ends in a T-junction. Two stones are stacked on top of one another against the wall here. There's nothing special about the two stones except they happen to be on top of one another. Now go left again. You take the left passage. The tunnel twists and bends sharp as if curved by a river now long since dried. You lose all sense of which way is which, except to keep going forward when the tunnel splits. There's a stacked pair of stones here as well. Go left again. You slip through the opening left wall. The going is suddenly more difficult, and you realize the tunnel is climbing at a sharp gradient. It's climbing at quite a sharp gradient. Little stones rattle and roll away downwards in the dark. At the highest point, the passage you are following finishes at another fork. And as you enter, two stones roll away from the slope. Left. Now the cave walls crushing close as the rock is squeezing you to death. Your shoulders rub against the walls when you feel certain you can go no further. The passage you're creeping through forks again. And the pair of stones stacked in one corner. Go left. You follow the passageway when you hear an echo of whimpering coming up the corridor. Your torchlight falls across its frail shape, hiding in the shadows of the unspin ground, stacking stones into hundreds of little towers. For traps? You run the torch that are in the walls of the cavern. Whispers are triggers that you can see. The girl watches you with silent fear, and the torchlight falls on a deep scratch in the rock. Claw mark. Suddenly, there's a loud roaring from the mouth of this short cavern. The walls begin to shake and crumble. The spin stone tower topples and scatter. To one side, a gap in the rubble begins to open, letting through a moon shaft of light. Before you can head for it, a rolling sound is joined by a scream from the spin girl. You turn slowly and peer into the gloom back along the tunnel. Is something moving? Something coming closer? Perhaps a roaring as the wind rushing through the tunnels. You hear this scrabbling around of claws on rock, and the exit from the tunnel is blocked by a dark and looming shape, a manticore. Huge, terrible, it stands between you and the light and howls in bloody rage. It's magic. You ready a spell? Cast a spell. Can I just zap? I can't zap. Okay. Can probably do one. What's this? Oh, that's not gonna help, right? Oh, force field. Cross clumping. Maybe. Let's see what I do. Stop. What? Unlock what? Cause slowness. Pep. I don't have fire water. Can't do that. Oh, I can't do hot. Huff. Great. Shit. Okay. Wow, then that's a. All right. I'll try to cause clumsiness. You complete your enchantment, and the manticore seems to stagger and trip, one foot colliding with the other, and its sting becomes tangled in its wings. You float it down. If you draw your sword now, you have an advantage, or you gained yourself more time for sword shift. Cast another spell. Let's see what we can do. Cast a spell. Cast a spell. It's still lie. Yeah. Nope. Don't have that. Yob. No, none of the two. Gob. No, don't have gobble. Don't have the goblin tooth. I don't think we do that one either. Nope. Don't have sand. We can do hot. Create a fireball. Cast. You cast a spell, creating a huge fireball, and you fling at the beast. It makes the damp rock wall sizzle as it flies. Before striking the creature in the side, it roars out in pain. The manticore roars, making the walls of the chamber shake. But listening closely, you can hear a note of fear in its too human voice. It still beats ferocious strength, but you have weakened it. You have to make this next and final spell matter, or take your task with your sword. Let's see, what can I use now? Clones. Cause depression. Um, zap. I can zap it, or I can. What's? No, I don't have a ring. Can't do that. Law control. Nah, I don't know if that's unintelligent creature. I could try sap. Try it. You cast a spell helping to reduce the Manticore's build to nothing, but although the enchantment behind, nothing seems to happen. That's when you realize. The Manticore is already a creature of hatred, self-loathing, and despair. You've done nothing to boost the anger and rage in the battle to make it more dangerous. You're out of time to fight the creature. You've caused some injury already. That's good, though. Alright. Let's defend right away, because, yeah, it's going to do that. Yep. Okay. So the Manticore moves forward slowly. You breathe a sigh of relief to see your spell having some effect on the creature. You drop back, raising your guard, hoping the beast will wear itself out. In the last moment, at the last moment, it pounces. All claws off the ground and barred into a plunge to your flesh. In the air, it is no longer slow. You brace yourself to come down and leap aside the last moment, claws raking your skin. Alright, let's go all the way in. The creature snarls and snaps its jaws. You must finish this monster before it finishes you. The rock wall at your back, you have no way to hide. The perfect platform spring forward. You race the Manticore just as it punches its tail down like a hammer stroke. As it rears, you push your sword up an exposed belly. You have opened a deep wound inside. Girl cheers. The Manticore shifts away and opens its wide jaw, which looks so human but contain an impossible number of teeth, each one dripping with mixture of saliva and blood. Defend. Okay. Rarely, you move in defensive crouch. The Manticore stays low and tries to ram you. For a moment, it is close enough to smell its warm, fetid breath. The beast growls at you. The wall shivered with fury. The Sun Girl edges nearer, as the thing is scratching the creature with their claws. It's scared, she whispers to you. You might not believe me, but you've scared it. Okay. So, does that mean it's gonna not? Should try that? Try that. Alright, cool. In the darkness of the cave, it is hard to read the monster's intentions, but you cannot wait forever. Charging forward, you rush into the Manticore, easily catching it at a light blow. It curses you in almost human tongue. Defend again. Okay. You can almost smell the creature growing in rage and drop quickly away. The Manticore makes a nest of its fearsome claws, but you duck and escape real injury. You give silent thanks for your concentration. Again, big attack. The Manticore laughs at you with a human expression of twisted joy. You risk an attack. Racing across the stone, you charge headlong towards the Manticore. At the same moment, it comes for you with its terrible sting. You cut into it like a butcher. The creature crashes against one wall. Rock dust pours on its back, but as it tries to shake itself, it stumbles. You can hardly dare to hope that Falbeast is weakening. The Manticore chomps and grinds teeth in an expression an ugly frown. Defend? Should attack, probably. Merrily move into defensive crouch. The Manticore rushes you. At the last moment, you jump aside. You swing your arm and refresh his dance. Let's try it. Yeah, there we go. Good. Despite an opening in the battle of the death, the openings cannot be wasted. Standing firm, you swing a mighty stroke against the monster as the Manticore charges you. You catch it rearing up and exposed. It limps as it moves. The monster rears onto its back legs and opens its wings to fill the room. Hold on. Oh, my neck. Band? No, okay. Where are the crouch? Blah blah blah. Just go. Got him. Got this motherfucker. You must kill this creature. Bellowing, you race with the Manticore at the same moment it tries to screw with its claws into the blade of the creature's flesh. The Manticore screams, howls in a voice that's almost human. It's dying, slowly, furiously. Nonetheless, it weakens. Let's try another. Oh shit. Okay, now I gotta defend. Oh, shit, I didn't have to defend. Ah, frick. Now I have to defend. Oh, I didn't have to either. There, shit. Alright. Well, rest. Damn it. I fucked up a couple times there. Shit. Alright, well. 8 stamina loss, decent in dueling. Oh, God, that's really bad, actually. Fuck it. No. The only noise in the chamber is the hammering for hard and quiet breathing of the Sun Girl. Thank you. The Sin Girl murmurs, tugging at your arm. This way. She leads you towards the light through a gap in the rocks to the pool of sunlight in the first cavern. Escape! You have the torch, hoping to attract attention. Carl, call to your father. The Sven-Child nods mutely and balls at the top of your lungs. Rosius, I'm here. And something drops down, a rope with a basket on the end. You get them together and pull you both up. Sure. Step in the basket and help the girl to clamber in with you. Ready? As soon as the above begin to haul, the rope stretches and grows taut. The basket doesn't move. The rope starts a squealing noise. The basket is a finger width off the floor. Pull harder. The heavens try. You hear them struggling and straining. Eventually, the girl gives a sigh. this is stupid. We'll never get out this way. With that, she scrambles out of the basket. The change in weight is enough, and the basket begins to shoot rapidly upwards out of the hole. When you reach the expression changes from happiness to fury. You're pulled from the basket and tossed bodily aside as you drop the rope back down. When you're there, it's your turn now. You sit, nursing your interest in weight as the Sven hauls up the rope. When the girl emerges, her face is lit with a brilliant smile. Every inch reflects the sunlight that she has not seen for so long. Her father scoops her up and carries her on his neck as he jabbers and tells him your bravery in defeating the Manticore. The Svens, hearing how close the beast came to hurting their daughter, realize how much they owe you. Fortunately, they welcome you back to the village if you wish to go. Yeah, let's go back to the village. Rest up with our. Oh, well, cool. All our stamina is great. Yes, hooray. Good. Got all our stamina back. Please, my goodness. Whoa. You will take what you are. You will take what you are offered. If not, I will come. Return to the village. It erupts in celebration. You're given a place to stay and recuperate from your long journey. The visitor of the healing priest treats your wounds, and when you emerge, it is to find the village before so somber and silent, now in full life. Flowers are tied to every rooftop, and bands of Finns are playing music on long, strangely shaped lyres. You are whisked away into dance by Perseus' daughter before the chief can welcome you to the feast. That night you sleep heavy, and rise the next morning to continue your journey. The chief meets you before you go. My good friend, you've saved us. He orders 2 gifts into your hand, a pouch of 10 gold pieces, a fortune for a place like this, and a key. This opens the south to the gate of Kare, the Hopper Zeeps. You take your leave. The path winds away from Torapani, and soon you are on a downward slope, away from the Shumutani Hills, and through stepped rice fields. As you walk, you feel for the first time the loneliness of the path ahead. Though Kare is a busy city, there is no honor among thieves. Beyond Kare, there is nothing but the vicious wasteland. You will have no one to trust in the days ahead. For a brief moment, up on the hills above the path, you fancy you see a figure stealing its way along by some high and secret route. A figure all in black. But when you shade your eyes against the sun, whatever was there has disappeared. In the distance rises the wall of a great city, the first true stonework you have seen since you left home. Your journey through the Shumutati Hills is complete. Along the way, you gain the friendship of Flanker the Assassin and be given the key to the gates of Kare. You collect a large number of magical artifacts, a vial of glue, nose plugs, and 7 pebbles. You're still armed with only your original sword and have 1 ration, 27 gold pieces, and a spellbook. The adventures continue. Save the cloud. Natois. This is technically a sorcery 2. Because the first game was the first 2 games were put into 1 for some reason on Steam. I don't want to continue this or there's something else because part 2 will be quite long, I think. Yeah, I think I'll take a short break. And then I'll think of something else to play. We'll continue this for a second. The Crown of Kings has been stolen by the Archmage and taken across the backlands to Mempang. You have been sent to get it back. Should you fail, the homeworld of Kakabet will surely fall. Your journey began. From the outpost settlements in Annaland, you cross the Shumatu Hills. Along the way, you ventured down a goblin mine, spared the life of a defeated assassin, and fought and killed the dreaded Knight's Corps. You faced starvation and deadly traps. A test of character. To survive, you used your blade often and your intelligence frequently. You deceived, charmed, and tricked your way through. Your spirit guide changed as you changed, becoming the ape. But now all that seems a distant memory, for you are approaching Kare, the city port of traps. Founded on a ford of the Jabaji River, Kare was once a camp for the pirates who ambushed merchants sailing from Lake Lumle to the sea. But the camp grew, it became a village. The village became a town, and now Kare is a magnet for ne'er-do-wells and thieves, ruled over by a council of villains. Cannot be avoided. You would go around it if you could, but on the far side is the North Gate, the only entrance to the Bach lands, and the next stage of your journey. If your quest is to succeed, you must enter the city port of traps and to make it out alive. So it just brought me right into the thing. That's how the game works on Steam. Okay. I'm assuming I can just save it from here or something. I don't know. Oh, Kare City Port of Traps. Right. Yeah, I'll do that at the another point. Where's can I not get the heck out of here? How do I get the heck out of here? I don't want to like accidentally frick up my thing here, but game, I didn't want to freaking go right into the second chapter right away. I can't rewind because I'm trying to escape, but escape's not working. All right, I guess I'll just hold on. Let me just cancel that, and then let me just start it up again. Make sure I didn't completely fuck everything over. The fuck? Okay, weird. What? So I started to back up, and it just it brought me it it brought me back to the end of the first game, and what the fuck? No. Hold on, what if I go back to do that? Go here, then. Alright, it might make me do this again when I restart it, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. What's the music running for? So wow, I'm surprised. Where the hell am I on this? Oh wow, this is a big long list of music. I did not realize how big this list was. I thought there was there's 120 tracks in this list I found. We're only on track 26. Okay, cool. We'll figure out what the hell I'm gonna play for the second half of the stream. Probably a few minutes. I'll be right back. Let me put up the screen. I'll leave the music running. It's pretty chill times. Be right back.